Have you ever noticed something strange about earning more money in America? The paycheck grows, but life doesn't feel lighter. In some ways, it feels heavier. On paper, you're doing well. You have a respectable job, a stable income. From the outside, everything looks fine. But privately, the stress doesn't go away. Saving feels harder than it should. And despite earning more than you ever have, money still feels tight. This isn't a failure of discipline, and it's not because Americans don't understand money. It's a psychological trap built into modern American life. Let's start with a very familiar situation. Imagine a young professional in their early 30s living in the United States. They went to college, they found a decent job. They worked their way up. Now they earn $80,000 a year. In America, that sounds like solid success. But after federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, Medicare, and health insurance, their take-home pay looks very different. Instead of $80,000, they're working with about $4,500 per month. This is where reality begins. The money doesn't sit still. Rent for a modest apartment in a safe neighborhood runs about $1,600 a month. Not luxury, just livable. Then transportation. A car payment or lease, around $450, car insurance, $150, gas and maintenance, $150, utilities, phone, internet, $300, student loans, $350, groceries, occasional eating out, subscriptions, and basic expenses, another $700, before savings or emergencies. Most of the income is already committed. There's no reckless spending here. No wild shopping habits, just standard American life. This is where confusion sets in. How am I making this much money and still feeling stuck? The problem isn't income, it's lifestyle structure. The American system encourages people to tie their lifestyle directly to their current salary. You earn more, so you're expected to live better. A nicer apartment, a newer car, more convenience. Each decision feels reasonable on its own. And that's exactly why this trap works. Let's do very simple math. If you earn $4,500 a month and your lifestyle costs $4,000 to $100, you aren't broke, but you are fragile. One car repair, one medical bill, one job interruption. And suddenly, the credit card becomes your backup plan. Not because you're irresponsible, but because there's no margin. Most Americans don't have an income problem, they have a margin problem. Now let's talk about the psychological side. Americans don't spend money based on long-term security, they spend based on identity. You don't ask, what lifestyle gives me maximum freedom later? You ask, often unconsciously, what does someone at my level live like? A car becomes more than transportation, it becomes proof you're moving forward. An apartment becomes more than shelter, it becomes evidence you're doing well. Convenience stops feeling optional and starts feeling necessary. You're not chasing luxury, you're chasing normal. As income increases, stress often increases too. Not because the bills are insane, but because expectations rise. You're supposed to maintain a certain standard now. You're supposed to keep progressing, and that progress locks you in. Once your lifestyle requires a certain paycheck, your freedom shrinks. You can't easily quit a job you dislike. You can't take career risks, you can't slow down without anxiety. You have income, but you don't have control. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The biggest cost of lifestyle inflation isn't money, it's optionality. Optionality is the ability to make choices without financial panic. Most Americans unknowingly trade optionality for comfort, slowly, quietly, and willingly. Not because they're careless, because this is what success is supposed to look like. Now let's shift perspective. Financially stable Americans don't always earn more. They don't have secret investments or extreme discipline. They think differently about commitments. When their income increases, they don't automatically upgrade their lifestyle. They delay, they observe. They stay slightly below what their income would allow. Not out of fear, but out of strategy, they ask different questions. Not, can I afford this monthly payment? But, what does this payment require me to keep earning? They understand that car loans, large mortgages, and long-term credit commitments aren't just expenses. They are promises to your future self, promises to keep earning at the same level, year after year. That awareness alone changes behavior. This doesn't mean living poorly. It doesn't mean rejecting comfort. It means choosing stability over appearance. It means upgrading selectively, not automatically. It means valuing peace over status. Over time, this creates a very different financial experience. Now consider the long-term impact. Two Americans earn the same salary. One increases their lifestyle immediately with every raise. The other delays major upgrades. After 5 years, they look similar from the outside. But internally, one feels constant pressure. The other has flexibility. The second person can handle job changes. They can invest calmly. They can slow down without panic. Not because they earn more, because their life requires less. This is why a good salary in America often isn't enough. Because without awareness, income becomes a trap instead of a tool. You work harder just to maintain the same level of security. And that cycle continues until something forces a pause. Awareness is that pause. This video isn't about guilt. It's not about downgrading your life. It's about understanding the invisible rules shaping your financial reality. Once you see them, your decisions change naturally, quietly, gradually, logically. If this video helped you think more clearly about money and stability in America, consider subscribing. Not for motivation, not for quick fixes. Just for calmer, more realistic conversations about income, lifestyle, and long-term freedom.